everybody, it's Jackie. Sorry I've been gone for so long. Just had some things going on, but I thought I have to show you guys my December daily because this is, I think, what people tune into my channel for the most frequently. Everybody loves a December daily. This is my 4th year doing it, and I'm sorry I didn't show you guys the journey of putting this together on the way through like I normally do, but I still wanted to show you the finished book. So there's a little story before I get into it. Feel free to skip ahead if you don't care. So originally my plan had been to use this beautiful album by Pink Paisley, and it is just a stunning book, and it has pages for every day, and I was going to make everything watercolor and red foil, and it was going to be so lovely. And then some stuff happened, and the result of it was that for the first time in my life, I didn't get to go home for Christmas this year. I spent Christmas in Toronto, which I've never done before, and so I didn't get my traditional Christmas. And so what happened is that the day before December Daily started, I opened up this book and I was ready to get, November 30th, I was ready to get started on it, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't use this beautiful book to record my non-traditional Christmas. And so I just said, screw it. And I went to Michael's at the last minute and I picked up this paper pad, which it does not fit in frame. And I have cut the name off of it, but it is the Falalalalallalama paper pad. And I said, you know what? Screw traditional this year. I'm staying in the city. I'm gonna do snark. I'm gonna do whimsy. Yes, I know it's sideways. Sorry about that, guys. And I used this paper pad. There's not a whole lot left. I used as much of it as I could, and I gave a lot of it away, but there's still a bunch left. And so this is the book that came out of it, and I think it's cute, and I'm actually really satisfied with my December Daily this year. I think it accurately captured what the holidays were for me. It captured all the goodness, and it got the feeling across that this was non-traditional. It's got a little bit of snark to it, and I'm happy with this book. So let's get into it. First thing you'll notice is that this is the thinnest December Daily in the history, I think, of December dailies. It's less than an inch thick. I put 1-inch rings on it and using my Bind It All, and I think I could have got away with 3/4 and it would have been fine. I put some charms on it, which I don't normally do, but I got this ornament. I do the David's Tea Advent Calendar every year, and sorry about the state of my hands, but I just figured it's better to film a video now than do my nails now. And it came with my David's Tea Advent Calendar, and I wanted to keep it. I don't have a tree or anything, so I just put it on my book, and I just added some jingle bells on some twine, and works for me. So my cover is just basically things cut out of the paper pad. I barely touched my stash at all. I used a few little things. So the covers are made out of a pirate cookie box, a Mr. Christie cookie box, and I just put some gold washi tape, I think it's Scotch brand, around the edges, and then pattern paper, and that's all my covers are. That cover looks the same. And let's hop right in. So if you're familiar with December Daily, you know it was an idea originated by Ali Edwards, and she likes to put the reason why at the beginning of her book, and so I do that most years too. This is a free printable on her website, and then you just fill in your own stuff, and that's what I did. And then I kept my pages very simple. For my numbers, I just used this Dilution stencil. Also doesn't fit in frame, and it's got all my numbers, and basically every day I would just take a scrap of pattern paper, trace out my number using a white gel pen, and fussy cut it out. And I did that every day for a month. A little bit tedious, but yeah, I just stamped on there that I was doing, my tea, 24 days of tea, and then I also did the Body Shop Advent Calendar, and the pages, I just kept them really simple. It's one-sided pattern paper, so I had a white page, and at first I thought I would like glue 2 pages together so I'd have pattern paper every day, but I liked working on the white pages. It gave me a chance to use clear stickers like these, and so I just went with it. So for this page, I just put a picture of my sister with her Christmas tree, and I die cut this circle out, colored it teal, and stamped a Christmas tree on it a million times. This was fussy cut out of the paper pad. And then I just wrote in my writing, and anywhere that there was some white space, I just went over it with my watercolors, and I did that a lot in this book. I make Christmas cookies every year with my friend, and we usually do it on the 3rd of the month. This year was no exception. So this year I recorded how many we made like I always do. It was 115. And I just took a picture of them, and it was a super moon that night, so I took a picture of that too, although I can't really get a good picture of the moon. The next page is called Taking Care of Me, and I was just talking about how I had to go to the doctor and get blood work done, and they're helping me out with my migraines, and that's cool. And so I just sketched in a blood vial, which is maybe a little morbid for December Daily, but it's my life. I wrote it in. For my title, I just use a brush marker to write out the words, and then I outline them with a black fine liner, and I've always liked doing titles that way. It makes them pretty bold. I talked about how I'm job hunting right now, and anytime I have space, I threw a llama on it. I love these llamas. Falalalalallalama. This is what I cut out of the front of the paper pad. And I used llama print paper here. It's got like the gold foil llamas on it, and just a journaling card to do my writing on. The paper pad came with a lot of borders too, so you'll see I used a lot of those. Like here's another one here. So on this page I did a washi tape border a la Lindsay Cava, who is also on YouTube. She does that a lot, and I like the way it looks. I use these two washi tapes mostly. They're tubes I got on sale at Michael's. And then I just stamped this little Mama Elephant. This is from Michael's too, Mama Elephant stamp. Colored it in with some markers, and these are some gold alphas. I got them at Scrap Fest, and I can't remember what booth I got them in. This is hand lettered, but this is stamped. Like Planning For is hand lettered, and then Christmas was stamped. And again, I just put in watercolor anywhere I didn't have writing. The next one was just about going for a run with my sister, so we took a selfie at the end of our run. And if you're Canadian, you'll be familiar with Keep Fit and Have Fun. That's something that was on TV a lot in the 80s. And another border at the bottom. I call the next page Uptown Girls, and it's just talking about how my sister and we took the train uptown and we just ran a bunch of fun errands. And I just used some Martha Stewart borders. I got those at Dollarama last year. And these are just from a Mambi pad, this Joy. And this is a great example of how I don't necessarily record things on the day they happened. I went to see Elf, the Broadway musical, on November 22nd, but I just thought it belonged in my December daily because it was the first Christmas thing I did of the year, and I had nothing going on the 9th, so I figured whatever, I'll put it on this page. I take a very no-stress approach to crafting. I know a lot of people are very careful about things. I'm not really. If it belongs in the book, I put it in the book. And so there's just a picture of my cousin and I at the theater, and I cut these out of the program. And that's all there really is on that page. Every year I do the big sing, it seems like. This is, I think, the 3rd year in a row, which is an end-of-season event that my choir puts on. And this year my sister and I were working the reception desk. So there's a picture of her at the desk that I took. And then there's a picture of a bunch of us in the choir, and I'm in there. These stars were sent to me by one of my viewers. Angela, thank you for everything you sent. I tried to use a bunch of it in the book, and she sent me a piece of pattern paper that I cut this 10 out of as well. These are just some snap alphas, I think. This page is just about how cold my apartment has been this year. And I just put in this is a big Mambi sticker from one of those Mambi pads. Like the 30-page pads at Michael's, they went on sale for $10 at one point, and I stocked up on a bunch of them, so I have a ton of these stickers. Then that's a picture of me in my, there's some adhesive on there, in my coziest outfit that I wear when I'm trying to stay warm in the apartment. And I just used a white gel pen to dot border around to the rectangles just to give it a little more interest. Then I started talking about how snowy it's been. I think everyone's getting a lot of snow this year. Well, Toronto's no exception. So we got our first snowfall on the 12th, and I used these Dear Lizzie alphas. They only work on white paper, so I was happy to be able to use them. And then I just put a picture of something I shared on Facebook about how I make candy bars. And again, just blue watercolor anywhere where there was no writing. I had to mail all my gifts home since I wasn't going, and so I did that on the 13th, so that's what this page is about. So I just took pictures of the packages I mailed out to 3 different provinces, and this llama coming out of the present I thought was so perfect. I put a little bit of gold washi tape on the corners, like the way the ribbon wraps around a present, and just talked about that. That's the same washi that's on the cover around the edges. The next one's called New Friends, and I just talked about some people I met this month. This was fussy cut out of the paper pad, and so was this. Falalalalalallama. And just fussy cut that out. For this lettering, I just wrote it with a brush marker, and then I outlined it with a gold paint marker. And it's got a little bit of shine. I don't know if that shows through. I'm filming this late at night. On the 15th, I went to see the Justice League movie, so I put my movie ticket on there. And then I have this film strip that looks like movie film. I'm not in center at all, am I? That I keep meaning to use when I go to a movie, and I remembered this time. And then I just cut this out of the movie magazine like I always do. A couple of die cut stars. On the 16th, I didn't really give it a title. I just put, oh what fun, and just chillin', and it's a picture of my sister had made the Christmas cake, and I was done all my baking, so I just hung out at her house and watched her slave over hers, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. My sister and I made a gingerbread house that was Super Mario themed, so I just cut these out of the box, and I took a picture of the gingerbread house we made, and then there was this mushroom cookie that went along with it. And yeah, all this stuff was cut out of the box. And I had a Heidi Swap journaling spot, and I cut the edge off, so I just stuck it on the bottom. This is fussy cut out of the paper pad. I started taking piano lessons. How fun is that? I'm really excited about it, actually. And so I just kind of did this art on the bottom while I was watching Black Mirror. I drew this out, like I got an idea off the interwebs, and then I sketched it myself, and then I put the same gold alphas on here that we saw earlier. This is brush lettered, and then I just watercolored around it and did my writing. Erin cut my hair. That happened. We learned how to cut my hair at home, and I couldn't do it myself, so I called my sister down and she helped me. So here she is with the scissors, and I'm taking a picture in the mirror, and this is what my finished haircut looked like. I'm really happy with what a good job she did. And just put a little ribbon tab on the side of this, and then another llama. I did some cookie swaps with some girls that I met online, and so I just put pictures of the cookies that they gave me, and I gave them a package back in return. And I put, this is stamped out, and I just put watercolor around it. And these are little die cuts that I got from Sparkly Canadian Crafty Girl. I bought them from her Etsy shop. She does such beautiful little lawn fawn die cuts. I love them. And just some stickers around the outside. On the 21st, I just talked about some things that happened. Hashtag lactose-free Christmas. I spent Christmas with a dear friend of mine who is lactose intolerant, so I was making a cheesecake, so I had to find sour cream and whipping cream and cream cheese that were all lactose-free. So I sent her a picture so that she knew that I really did buy lactose-free stuff. And then I thought the picture looked good, so I put it in the book. And then here's a picture of my sister's cat in the suitcase, because I sat and hung out with her while she packed to go home. And I just put like the journaling card around the back for the background. Then I talked about gift wrapping. So I just had 2 presents to wrap, and I took a picture while I was doing it. I put another one of the borders on this one, and then just some stickers. These are just Mambi stickers and some Snap Alphas. Pretty simple. And then I put a picture of the stack of presents I had, because while I was mailing out gifts to people, people were mailing me gifts back. And I had a stack of these mailing boxes to open on Christmas morning. So I just put some presents I fussy cut out of the paper pad, a little doily, and a journaling card that was in my stash. On the 24th, I went to see Star Wars The Last Jedi. So again, just cut some things out of the magazine, put my ticket down, watercolored background, easy peasy. On Christmas Day, I cut this out of the paper pad too. I'm only a morning person on December 25th. I did like a FaceTime with my family. So I'm in all the little pictures, or like I'm in the corners of all the pictures. But there's my mother and my grandfather and my grandmother on Christmas morning. And it was really fun to video chat with them in the morning. It worked really well. And then I put a picture of all the presents that surrounded me after I opened them in the morning all by myself. And my family watched on the FaceTime as well. And then these are just Mambi stickers up here. I wish I could write this well, but it's a sticker. In the evening, I went to my friend's house for dinner. So I took a picture of her with the prime rib that she cooked. And here we are at the table. There's the cherry tart that I made. And I just stamped and embossed this. Came from another stamps that I got at Michael's. On the 26th, I went Boxing Day shopping. So I just put a picture of some things that I bought and a picture of my family at home because they wanted to see it, so I FaceTimed with them again. Just some washi tape at the top and the bottom, some more watercolor. On the 27th, I had a business lunch, so I put some alphas for that and just a bunch of journaling, and this is just a journaling card on pattern paper. Sorry, I'm rushing. I've only got about a minute left in the video. And then this was second Christmas. This was the night my sister came home and she brought me more gifts from home. So I just talked about that, and I put some stickers here and I just drew lines to make it look like they're hanging. And these were some circles. They were sent to me by Angela as well. Thanks again, Angela. And I just put some stickers and washi tape, and pretty simple. On the 29th, I just called it out and about, and I talked about how, again, it's snowy. So I cut this out of a piece of cardstock from like Recollections cardstock. It says, "Let it snow." And I just had this star in my stash, so I stuck it down. And a little glitter snowflake. On the 30th, I just talked about how I just took an easy day, easy peasy. And again, I did a washi border. I used this big sticker. I forget who makes it. And this was, I think, a photo play sticker. And on the last day, there's always something to celebrate. And I just talked about New Year's Eve and how we celebrated. One last llama for the road, another doily, and a gold number. And that's it. That's my December daily. I did it 4 years in a row. Love it. Thanks so much for watching.